can always... Oof, bright. I can always put in non-captive pins, I guess. I have plenty of those left over. Happy New Year, everybody. I normally like to start off the videos on the 1st and 15th of the month, but some crew member who is responsible for editing all of these things ended up spending the week between Christmas and New Year's with his family, and that's kind of delayed things a bit. Welcome to 2026. I am hoping that this will be a better year automotively for me. Obviously, those of you who have been watching are familiar with what happened with a certain Ford Fiesta at S04, so we're going to take another crack at that this year and hopefully not crash. While my son's Honda was waiting for some tie rods to be replaced, we were waiting for parts to come in. He drove my Volvo to get a meal and plowed into a deer at 55 miles an hour. Thank God for insurance, because that was $18,000 worth of damage. And then while I was driving the truck, because I didn't have the Volvo, I plowed an elk at 58 miles an hour. Yeah, it's been a great year. And that just happened as I was putting the December 15th episode to bed. So that didn't make it into that, even though it was pretty fresh at that time. So early November for the deer, like second week of December for the elk. Yeah, nowhere to go but up. So, let me see here. When we last spoke, I was fixing a power steering fluid leak, and then I can get the hood pins in, and I should be almost ready to get it out of here. All right, after wiping up all the fluids on the floor, I've determined that I do have a power steering leak at the junction where the lines come around to the rack, which I did not have before, and that I don't know if I bumped something when I was putting the engine back in and just kind of wiggled it loose a little bit. I torqued the nut down, but that didn't seem to do anything. It doesn't seem to be leaking a ton. So I might just try to redo that at some point. Maybe put there's a gasket in there that can go bad. But I did track down the coolant leak because it was coming down the front of the radiator casing. Now that I've dried everything up, I was able to figure it out. And there is a hose back here that is just a little bit damp underneath, so it appears to be coming from that, which is good because I'd rather have that than a cracked radiator housing. I had the thought that I could kind of eyeball the amount that I needed these new hood pins to stick up above the hood, by comparing them to the black focus, which I'd already installed. And you're probably asking, why didn't I just recycle the ones from the black focus? And that's because in the meantime, I had discovered, after having lost a couple of pins, and plan A was to have a bunch of spare pins, the idea of the captive pin. I'd actually seen the captive pin ones that have like a little arrow latch, but those were fiendishly expensive, and this seemed more reasonable.
You came out of nowhere like a bullet train. You were so familiar, but you're not the same as all the other drifters who have lost their way. You remind me of a love that never changes. Now's the time, now's the moment, yeah, now I see. Turn my head round and make you smile back at me. Now's the time, now's the moment, yeah, now I see. Tell you that there is nothing that's out of reach. We are the dreamers, the light keepers, we are one. This is our time, this is our time. We are the dreamers, the light keepers, we are one. This is our time, this is our time. While you find your footsteps and I breathe again, there's a new connection that's as old as when love was all that mattered and you were young and free. I'm all to you,
Now, the considerable advantage to using the same style of latch in the rears is that I'm actually able to access this end of the pin, which means that I can torque it down properly with a ratcheting socket and everything. The disadvantage, of course, is that there doesn't exist a pre-existing hole of any sort at any point, so I have to start from scratch, but that slight disadvantage is completely mitigated by the actual access to tighten this down properly and easily without jamming a screw up blindly into a hole and hoping that it engages the nut. The fun part was this came with rivets as the preferred attachment, and weirdly enough I own a rivet gun for some other project that I don't actually remember why I actually own it, but whatever. Well, this is going to be entertaining. How the fuck am I supposed to get a rivet in here when can't actually make it all the way down? Like, these two will be fine. Move, bitch, get out the way. So I thought this was a 3/32 rivet. I think that it's probably more like an 1/8. Alright, I guess I'll re-drill. An 1/8" rivet doesn't go through an 1/8" hole. I don't know how to get a rivet in there. That's problematic. Probably gonna end up with a screw. Am I not using this appropriately? Squeeze handle once or twice until stem snaps off rivet. Oh, there we go. That's what's supposed to happen. Now this is going to be a bit of a pain in the arse, right? Am I gonna be able to get that in there? Almost. How deep does it need to be, I guess, is the question. About to find out. Okay, well. Well, that part's not pretty, but it does work. Well, I did my test drilling for the rear pins, and I think I put the actual pins a little bit too low, because what's going to end up happening is this is probably not going to have enough room to actually catch these two pins, which is a problem. And well, I mean, plan B is just to use non-captive pins, which would be less than ideal, but it would at least work. Thought about maybe putting them this way, because then it would catch, but I'd still have to do some trimming. Actually, I'm not even 100% certain that it would actually catch. If you've ever done a project like this, or not like this, just any sort of project, you kind of have probably discovered, much as I have, that sometimes if you're too close to a project, you don't have the space, and you need somebody to just come reality check you. And as much as I didn't want to have to move the hood pin, or the trunk pins, I guess. My friend Mike basically looked at it and said, yeah, your best bet is just to move them. My friend Mike, who's also my mechanic, and because it's this kind of world, it's also my girlfriend's sister's boyfriend. Like, it's a small world here in Pittsburgh, even if you're not in the city itself, and probably more so if you're outside the city. I mean, discovered that my girlfriend's first high school boyfriend was a guy who was the EMS coordinator at my residency hospital. So, tiny, tiny world.
Now I do, 'cause I look like you. For all the days and all the nights we didn't get to spend together, we will make it up from now and forever. For all the ways I try to find just to make it all look better. Now I do.
And after some little while of trying to get this in with these sticking straight out, I realized that having this completely vertical could be a disadvantage when you're trying to actually get this out, because it's going to maybe have a tendency to fall back depending on how tight everything is. So I actually ended up just rotating it 45 degrees so that there's still some downward motion, but there's a little bit of friction, and I didn't want to go completely horizontal because that would provide no downward motion, and if we're bouncing down the road, I think I would like to have gravity acting in my favor.
It feels like the walls are closing in on us. It's a shame.
And after kind of screwing up the exact angle and everything a little bit, I have decided that I'm probably better off just switching to a more traditional non-captive pin, which has some danger to it, but I'll just carry extras, no big deal.
There's love, there's still love, we're still young. Hold dreams on hold, pray I won't let go. Don't let go, this road may be long, late night songs play.
Well, one of the disadvantages of not having a whole lot of Raleigh knowledge is that I don't necessarily already know the best way to do a thing. The advantage of the internet is I can often find out the best way to do a thing, and in some cases I didn't really think about the best way to do anything, and if anything it's maybe an advantage to have not be burdened by what other people are doing, and then I can come up with something clever like wrapping my toe strap around my Velcro tie, which I suppose I should put the correct side out if I can manage that. And then it has an eye in it, which means now I have to do that more carefully so that it doesn't just fall apart at the first opportunity. The only disadvantages, these don't quite match up. I wonder if I wrap them back on each other, can I get them to work together? I don't know that I love it, but it does seem to work effectively at least. Now I can actually screw this down as long as I have a big enough washer or bolt or whatever. Alright, this gets me one step closer to actually getting this thing out of here so that I can get it down to a metal fabricator. Hopefully the one if you go to the end of my street and hang a left, there's one like a half-mile down that direction. Hopefully they'll be able to do it. That would be really convenient to have somebody so close taking care of that, but I definitely want to have at least something, even if it's a temporary solution, to protect the underside of my oil pan from not so much the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune as, or is it misfortune? I don't remember the line, but in either case, protect against giant rocks in the middle of the roads. So we get to figure that out, and then should be almost ready to get logbooked and start racing. In the meantime, remember not to drive like my brother. be honest, he'd probably be worse off driving like my brother's brother. All right, this should me get...